You cannot believe that your body is broken and that's beyond repair and be able to actually have your body heal itself. It's not possible. This is where belief really comes in. When you're dealing with a chronic illness or a chronic health issue, if you keep paying attention to it and expecting it to still be there, or you're concerned about it being there because you have a fear of it being there permanently, you start to create the storyline around this thing, then it won't be able to disappear. The only way for these illnesses, these chronic symptoms to be able to disappear is, number one, if you change the narrative about the illness. Of course, you got to do things with your diet. Of course, you got to do things with supplements. Of course, you got to do things with nervous system retraining. Of course, but the most important thing is believing, first of all, that you can be fixed. Okay, that the damage from the antibiotic can actually be repaired. That the damage from the parasite or the mold or whatever it is, or the lupus or whatever condition you've been convinced that you have, that the damage from these things can be repaired. That it's not this thing that's permanent for the rest of your life. Because as soon as you buy into the permanent conversation, then your nervous system gets into a state of fight or flight, state of panic. You start having concern about all these things that could threaten your health. And now you look at life from the perspective of someone who's going to be sick the rest of your life. And it looks very intimidating. It looks challenging. All of the things you have to do now look like they take a lot more effort than they did before, because you're anticipating that you could feel sick in this future, in this, what if things get worse 5 years from now? They're not getting any better. What do I do then? What about this event I have to go to? Am I going to feel well enough to be able to go to this event? These things. So it's absolutely critical, that you believe 100% in every bit of yourself, that without doubt that you are not broken, that this is not beyond repair, and that you can have your body repair itself and overcome these things. People who have overcome just unbelievable, miraculous things. Joe Dispenza is a perfect example. He had spinal, physical damage to his spine. He was unable to actually walk. Was able to, through meditation, to be able to reconstruct his spine in his own mind and start walking again. I met a guy who was a therapist of mine who had permanent damage from a car crash where he couldn't play music anymore. Once he started doing meditation and deep breathing and visualization, he was able to play music within 7 days again, after years in physical therapy and trying everything. The reality is the body is never fully damaged unless you buy into it. If you believe that it's possible that you could repair, then you can get rid of the stressors that are holding the body back from going ahead and repairing itself and allow it to repair itself. For example, you may think that you have gut issues that you've had all your life, right? That you're never going to be able to get rid of, but don't realize that you never stopped eating meat. You never stopped eating eggs, dairy, nuts, seeds, gluten, processed food, eating right before bed, all these things that could contribute to actual stomach issues. So rather than buying into this, I'm broken, I've always had stomach issues, I always will, you make changes, and the only way you're going to be willing to make changes is if you don't buy into this false reality that you have this thing that's going to be there for the rest of your life. Once you stop buying into that, then you start looking at ways of how to fix it. As soon as you buy into this, I'm broken, I'm damaged, and I'm never going to be able to be fixed, you stop looking for solutions, or you look for them out of panic. And if you look for anything out of panic, trying to solve an issue, you just end up finding more panic in the end. You have to be able to look for something out of faith and belief. You'll be able to then attract what you're looking for. You can't attract your healing when you're looking for what you're trying to find out of panic. You'll run into the wrong doctor and the wrong this and the wrong opinion and this, that, and the other. When you start to have full faith and belief in your healing, you will run into the right person. You'll run into the right situation, run into the right routine, the right supplements, the right circumstances, which will allow you to heal. This has been my experience. Once I started to believe with 100% faith, no doubt whatsoever, that healing was inevitable, it was just a matter of time. I was going to keep working on it until I got better. I was never going to give up no matter what. Then guess what? Things started opening up for me. And that's how I see with my clients as well. Once they fully commit 100% to the idea that they're never going to give up and they'll do anything it takes to get better, then it's like God comes from above and just starts looking out for them and starts putting things in front of them to help them become aware of where they're self-sabotaging and the things they can do to help improve their health through supplements and changes, etc. So thanks for watching, everybody. Go to my website, endsickness.org. I got hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on there teaching you how to heal yourself. Take care.